talk about what's going on in the real estate market right now, which is a lack of inventory, right? And options for your clients, right? So I wrote down a few points on how to get, your client to kind of make that decision, your seller to make the decision to list your home with me, right? It's safe to say that, many homeowners right now are operating under the impression that, hey, listen, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. In other words, they're very content to what they call home right now. During this crazy market, even though they may prefer to move somewhere else, they're staying put. So it's being, in a position where because of low inventory, people are saying, and plus you throw the pandemic in there, right? Many are just choosing to delay moving and selling their home, kind of taking the chance. And really it's because they potentially have no idea where they're going to go to next. And we know that for them to find the right place to move into next, they need to know what they've sold their home for, where they're at with their house, right? And get that motivation now towards, hey, now we're going to buy because we know we're sold. So you and I both know that the fear is kind of unwarranted. The problem is they don't know this. So they're playing it safe, right? And the key is getting more listings is to instill more confidence in the homeowner, right? And we need to come down, really what comes down to it is giving them options, right? Showing the prospective seller that there's options that they can make, to realizing that it will put them in the driver's seat when it comes to selling their home and purchasing a home. So what are some options that we can offer up a potential seller so that they can make that decision to put their home up for sale? Again, putting out there more product out there, which will help all of us. So I wrote down 7 different options that you as a realtor can offer up to your potential seller to kind of build that confidence back to them, right? So the first one I wrote down, real simple, is a seller can simply rent back or lease back the home, right? You can basically tell the seller, hey, listen, we can sell our home to a potential buyer. And because of the times that we're in, it's pretty extraordinary the times we are. A lot of buyers are open to some ideas, such as purchasing the home, not necessarily moving in immediately, just renting it back to the seller. And then the seller can kind of go out there in the marketplace and take a look and see what comes up that meets their needs. Right now, this is not a long-term lease back; it'll be a short-term lease back, but that is an option. Renting back the home to the potential seller so that they can go there and find another place. All right, that's one option. Second option we came up is, and this is a very simple one, is we simply extend the closing date. We can put in a clause in the offer, right? A notwithstanding clause, notwithstanding the current closing date, the seller has the option to extend the closing date, perhaps another 60 or 90 days, right? Being a little bit more flexible, having that ability to change the closing dates. So in this particular case, right, the buyer is kind of waiting for the seller to find the right home that they want to move into, and before they finalize the closing dates. Okay. What's the third option? Third option would be is you just make the offer a seller's condition or contingency to finding a home. So the home is sold, but it's contingent upon the seller finding them a home, right? This could be a 30-day clause, a 30-day condition where the seller needs to go out there and be satisfied with the idea that they would find a home. Right? It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to find it and close the transaction. No, just be satisfied that, hey, there are product, there are some homes that I like. So I just want to have that a reassurance that when I go out there, right, I will find something that I like, right? So that would be the third option, is making the sale contingent upon the seller finding a home, okay? Option number 4 I wrote down is putting them in perhaps one of your rental properties. Right? As a real estate agent, I'm certainly hoping that you're investing in real estate yourself, right? And many agents do have vacation homes or rental properties, right? Some agents, what they've done is they've gone and rented homes. So they go out and rent a home long-term, let's call it for a year. And because of the market that they're in, they're secured themselves a rental property. They don't have to physically put in the money to buy one. They just rent one long-term and use that home for their sellers to kind of stay in there until they find a place. And during the times where the seller is not using it, right, they're using that as Airbnbs, which is pretty smart. So they'll rent a home long-term, use it as they need to put their clients in there when they need it. Plus, when it's vacant, just use it as an Airbnb, right? So something to consider, maybe looking into options of renting a place, or if you do have one yourself, putting them into one of your rental properties, right? That's option number 4. I wrote down option number 5 is simply build confidence in your process. And really don't overlook the step, right? Convey to the potential seller all the unique and creative ways that you've helped buyers find their dream home, right? You're communicating with them not only through the MLS, but letting them know that as a professional realtor, you spend 2 hours a day, 5 days a week on the phones, connecting with people, talking to people, and you know of off-market properties. So by simply sharing with them, even the technologies that you use, for example, Slide Broadcast or Hit 'em Up app, telling them, hey, we have these technologies that we use where we putting out their information to the neighborhood, and we're constantly getting leads of potentially new sellers. So just explaining your process to the seller may be enough to convince them to put their home on this for sale, because they'll have confidence in you, confidence in your process, that you will help them find that next home, right? Option number 6, and this may be something where you have a buyer or like an investor or yourself buying the property. So what you're doing here is you're letting the client know that, hey, I'm guaranteeing this money for your home. I have a buyer. He's going to pay you this much for the home. Let's take a look at what's for sale now. Let's go buy something with confidence, because either I'm going to buy the home from you, or I have an investor that would buy the home for you, right? So this is sort of avoiding putting the home on the MLS. This is you coming in there and saying, hey, I'm guaranteeing your home's going to sell for this much money. You have all the confidence in the world. You can go ahead, buy your home right now that you're going to buy. And worst case scenario, I'll buy the home, or I have an investor that would buy your home for you, right? Again, we're building the confidence to get people to put their home on the market. And that is definitely an option. You see it all the time. Your home's sold in 30 days guaranteed, or I'll buy it. Something of that nature, right? And then the last one I wrote down here is options to getting your clients to get off the fence and put their homes on the market. And it's simply, you know what, let them know that they can say no to the offers, right? And in this particular case, what you're doing, this is probably my favorite one, is I'm going to list your home, Nick. We're going to put it on the market, and then we're going to go and take a look at homes. So we're going to do things the same time. Your home's going on the market, and we're going to go take a look at homes. We're going to gauge the, what's happening in your home, how many people are coming through the property, what are people saying about your home. At the same token, we're going to go out there looking at properties. And when we start looking at some properties, we're going to start creating a short list of ones that we really like. And once we get the home sold and we have a price that we're happy with, we can then double down on the 3 or 4 homes that we really like and go in with confidence, go in with a firm offer, no conditions, because we know that our home is sold for a price we're happy with. But at the end of the day, the client has the option to say no. I'm not happy with this price. I thought we would get more. This is not happening. No worries. It's all good. You're in control. So those are 7 options that you can convey to your potential sellers to help you in getting more listings and getting them to take action now. We all know inventory is the issue. And if we can get some more inventory on the markets, right, it's going to be easier working with the buyers that you're working with right now. It is what it is. That's what we're doing. So does anyone have any questions regarding these types of options? Does anyone have any questions regarding the 5 fundamentals? Does anyone have any hallucinations? No, you guys all good? All right, so this is gonna be a short. So just a quick reminder, tomorrow there is no Danny's Daily Huddle, okay? We usually do a video on Thursdays, but they will not be happening tomorrow. I will be away. Also, just a quick reminder, first quarter reviews will be due at the end of the month. So you guys are awesome. Please unmute yourselves. Lotfi, I want to hear you. Lotfi. All right, so I'm curious. What day is today?
Money-making day.
It's a money-making day. That's right. So what do you have to do in your business right now to help you move the needle? Jump on that, work on that, and I'll talk to all of you on Monday. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Danny.